What up? What up? It's your boy Conserviz34. Thank you for tuning in tonight. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're rocking with me after Deer Creek Night 1. We have some people that are going to be joining us live tonight, and I'm excited for that. There's about a half dozen people I know that are at the show tonight. And just to give you a little bit of a preview as well, I was having a little fun during the stream tonight. I was having a little fun. I was playing to some best of what's around, and I was around. And this was it's your boy jamming out about an hour ago. What's up, Mike? I see you're in here. Love the new song. Okay. I did too. I need to listen back to it. And yeah, that was me. Jamming out. I love playing this song and this album. One of the ways I learned playing guitar was playing through Under the Table and Dreaming. Built up my chops. This was a lot of fun. Thank you. It's your boy Conserviz34. Laying it down. All right, so we're gonna pull up the set list. So John and Mike like the new song. It sounded like She. I think that's a good breakdown. It sounded like She, but a little bit better because She is trash. It is a horrible song live. It's you know what it is? It's a wannabe Pearl Jam song, except you're not Pearl Jam. So sorry, Dave, you're not Pearl Jam. But let me get this set list up here. And I'm also trying to look at, I think there were 7 total songs. Forget the Stairway to Heaven interpolation. I don't count that. I think there were 7 songs that we had. So between Night 1 2019 of Deer Creek and Night 1 2021 of Deer Creek, there were 7 total songs that were replayed or played. So that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, it just goes to, just to give you an idea of the last time they played Deer Creek, which was the summer of 2019. And actually, that was when they played If I Had It All. And let me pull up the set list for you guys. Let's zoom in. This is the set tonight. And so you had 7 total songs that were played between both nights of night 1 to night 1, 19 to 21. This is so 2019. This is 2021, and then this is 2019. Now those songs that were actually there were 8. Sorry, 8 because 41. I forgot about number 41. Let me add that to my notes here. We had eight total songs that were played across both. And those songs are Best of What's Around, You Might Die Trying, Do You Remember, Write a Song, Granny, Grace Is Gone, Watchtower, and 41. That's what I'm seeing as far as the ones that were played across both nights there, according to my notes. And that new song, this is what I picked up from. Let me see if I can play this. This is what I picked up from the chorus. I was playing it as I was sure. But I picked up some of the notes. I love the chorus's flow. And let's see if we can get this up because I put out the chords. I think it was. Okay, so the chorus of this song, it starts with the D, then it goes to kind of like a C sharp, and then a B minor to an A, and then it's like an E. I don't know if anyone took video. That was kind of what I picked up from the chorus. He said, I just want some kind of love. I just want love, more love. I know I need it. It's the only thing, some lyrics I brought up. And the stop time warehouse. Sort of. Yeah, so they had the old stop time and they had the woo. So that was a cool moment too. Is it? Okay, I'm messing up. But anyway, you get the point. They had that stop time warehouse. Sag Nasty, how's it going? Thanks for joining. But so we did get that stop time intro, which is they don't play that anymore. But they played it tonight. And that was a cool moment. The new song, I agree with Mike. It sounds like a better version of She. It's more rock based, but it still has the chorus. I love the chorus progression. So I think it's just a better version of She. They should just never play She again and play this song instead. It could, and Mike says, I wonder if the intro for Warehouse is getting hard for Dave. Just to guess, could be. It is a tough thing, the regular intro that he does. But I love that. Hey, keep that stop time thing going. Just to go back to the set. And to break it down, 5 Under the Table and Dreaming, 3 Miscellaneous Release, 2 crash, 2 unreleased, 2 stand up, 1 busted stuff, 1 cover, 1 segue, 1 some devil, 1 big whiskey, 1 away from the world, 1 come tomorrow. No before these crowded streets. So hopefully we'll be crowded in these streets tomorrow. That's Screets, Skreets. That's how they say it. The kids say it now, but hopefully we're crowded in these streets tomorrow, and we're getting a bunch of those songs there. So it's interesting. I mean, you got a lot of Under the Table and Dreaming, and I would hope for tomorrow we get a lot of Crash and Before These Crowded Streets. Even in Everyday, keep in mind for Deer Creek, you get a lot of you'll get a Fool to Think that'll be played one of the 2 nights sometimes, or So Right on occasion, or What You Are. But more of the So Right and Fool to Thinks are common in these more popular 2 night stands. I mean, Deer Creek is arguably a top 3. You know, you think of Gord, SPAC, and Deer Creek as the 3 biggest 2 night weekends. Now Alpine was up there, but it's no longer played. So as for right now, I hope they go back there. I want to go to Alpine, and I'll be going to Deer Creek next year. So this is the set. Now here's the thing. I thought the beginning of this show was amazing, from Billy's to Grace to Nancy's Warehouse Suite, the new song there, and then Best of What's Around. After that, it gets hit or miss. Do You Remember? Meh, but So Damn Lucky. I love how they're playing it. Shake Me Like a Monkey, Bathroom Break. Write a Song, awesome. Bayou, Bathroom. Singing from the Windows, awesome. Proudest Monkey, awesome. Satellite, yeah, okay. You Might Die Trying, awesome. Cornbread, no, I don't need it. D&B Mamas, we're going to get you on as well. First, I'm going to bring on John, and then we're going to try to get you on here. I'm going to actually, let me send you, I don't know if I can send this. I'm going to send you the link, D&B Mamas. So if you're able to join after we get to John. Now here, and while I'm sending this is the show from 2019. I think the 2019 show was better. You got 7 of the same songs, plus you get a Stone. And then If I Have It All, Liberated, the only time it was played all summer in 2019. I was hoping for it at the Gorge, and we didn't get it. So I think that this 19 show was better. I think the band overall just sounds better, because I listened to both of these live from SiriusXM, the Friday night shows from Deer Creek. And shout out to SiriusXM and the crew out there, the band. Shout out to Ari, who I'm sure is on the Fish side tonight heavier, because they do have a live stream of that show that started at 7:30, and that's his kind of bread and butter, the Fish Radio. Let me see. So D&B Mama, we're going to send you the link. And we're going to call John right now, because I think it's important. I want to get reaction from him. I can talk all I want about the show. He was there. He was there. Both, and actually, while we're dialing his number, interesting, Singing from the Windows, not in the encore, put in the 13 spot. They do a Granny to Watchtower. I hate Watchtower. I don't want this band to cover stuff. Is there a recording of the new song, Jonathan? There should be something up, I'm pretty sure, within the next 24 hours on YouTube. I'm sure people took screenshots of it or captured. There's a video on Facebook, D&B Couch Store page. Yeah. So yeah, and I'm sure people have clips that are being posted right now on Facebook and Twitter, but probably not the full thing, especially on Twitter, because you only have 2 minutes. There definitely should be something. There definitely should be something else there, but let me see. We're gonna get John, and I need you guys to let me know if you can hear John as well. Please let me know if you can hear John when we get him on.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, John?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me, John?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Can you guys hear John?
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Can if
You
someone,
got me?
I can hear you. I'm just trying to. Hey guys, can you hear John? Okay, yeah, they can hear you. So, John, tell us about tonight, Deer Creek Night 1. What'd you think?
The energy was insane tonight. It was epic, man. It was good to be back at Deer Creek after a year off. The set was well balanced. Had some deep cuts in there. Had some crowd pleasers. Then you had, your average. You had your Do You Remembers in there as well, and your Bayous. So it was a good, well mixed set. Best of What's Around Granny. I got the Watchtower, which I thought was good. The song was probably the highlight of the show for me.
Yes, it was.
That's awesome.
Pardon that. But yeah, Write a Song was probably the best song of the night to me. And I left the show just elated. It was a great show.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear, especially that energy part. Seemed like a lot of people traveled out from social media to this show compared to obviously the other, smaller scale shows and even the other stands on this tour, like West Palm Beach is not Deer Creek. Now, what do you think of the sound of the band as far as the mix? I know you were at Raleigh and Charlotte, and what do you think of the mix compared? Is it getting better? Is it about the same?
Do they want to talk to a tier 2 taper yet? So I do have a taper in the car with me, Mike Peters. So we're going to shout out all the tapers tonight. Mike Peters just wanted to get a quick shout out. But the sound sounded really good. I was really impressed with Dave's guitar tonight, especially during Warehouse. That stop time intro gave me goosebumps. It brought me back to the mid 2000s with that stop time intro, and I was really, really impressed with the sound of the band. The horns sounded good on Billy's. I was really impressed with the horns too on Billy's. Straight to equal right.
That's awesome. And now we had a mid-set singing from the windows. When that happened, what did you think was going to be the encore? Like before, obviously, we
got a Diet Pepsi when Singing from the Windows came on. To be honest with you, I was not around for that.
Okay, well that makes.
Yeah, I've already heard it 3 times this year, and I can hear it well from the concession stand. The song is not growing or changing. It sounds pretty the same. Now the new song, on the other hand. It's called The Only Thing, correct? Am I getting that right?
Yes. That's what it's been listed at on DMB Almanac, antsmarching.org. That's what they're titling it at as here.
So he pulled out a new guitar that I've never seen him play before. I could be wrong, but it's red, though. It's a Samurai Cobb guitar? So I was just told that it was
Gibson,
a Samurai Cobb guitar.
Probably Gibson Les Paul Jr.
And it sounds to me like it was like Beastie Boys Sabotage in the beginning there. But I like the song. I think I could get used to that song. It's real heavy. Tim is doing his thing on it, and it's a 2021 Dave Matthews Band song.
That's awesome. And we were talking about that. Jonathan, Mike on the live chat here, they said they loved it, listening to it. On the Sirius XM stream. I loved it too. One thing we said, I don't know if this resonates with you, John, but we were saying it's like a better She. Like if She was actually a good song and competent.
Yeah, better version of She, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what Mike had said earlier, and I agreed with that. I think that was a great and I got some of the chords. The problem is I was listening to it live and playing the chords back on my guitar, but I can't remember how the flow went. But I'm going to listen back to it overnight, and we'll talk about it tomorrow while we're, before we, when we start off. But I think I definitely liked it. Some of the lyrics that I wrote down were, I just want love, some kind of love. And I just want love, more love. I know I need it. It's the only thing. And then there was one of the verses, I think it was like the second verse, it was like almost like remember when all the things that used to be real, like that idea of like Santa Claus, you know, when you found out Santa wasn't real, but people told you Santa was real. I think it's great subject matter, great lyrics there. Um, so the other thing we were talking about here, Deer Creek Night 1 and 19, there were 7 of the same songs. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. Best of What's Around, Die Trying, Do You Remember, Write a Song, Granny, Grace is Gone, Watchtower. Just to give you a memory, some information. I know you were at this one, but this was Deer Creek Night 1. You had If I Had It All, Come Back. You had a Stone. You had a Sugar Will. A Typical Situation. Being at both of these shows, do you think that the 19 show was better than tonight?
It's kind of hard to process 2 years ago right now, just because of the fact that we had that year off, and I'm just so grateful to be back at shows right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to compare like which show was better. 19 is so far from memory right now. Okay. I'm just glad to be back at shows, having fun with friends, and the energy tonight was unreal. You had to be here really to get a grasp of what I'm trying to explain. It was just being at Deer Creek is just a different kind of animal. I thought the Raleigh show was really like it reminded me, like it brought me back to like being at one of the major venues. But now that I've been back to one of the major venues, which is Alpine, Deer Creek, Gorge, and Stack, like this was a different level tonight. Even more, way more raucous than Raleigh was.
Interesting, very, very interesting. So even though Raleigh, you had that first back, this energy was on a whole new level, which was awesome to hear. That everyone's back at the Creek. I'll be there next year.
The show started right at 7:30.
Okay, interesting, because that's what. And now, when you were at Raleigh, was that like 7:45?
Yeah, 7:45 at Raleigh. Well, my assumption was there was a bad storm coming over right at like 7:15. And so I think the band thought that we were going to get some bad weather. So I guess they wanted to like get the show on the road in case we got bad weather. But once the show got started, the sky just opened up and every cloud just disappeared. We got like a few sprinkles, but that was it. Like there was no rain. And so we got the show early, and then I'm already back at the house, and it's 11:14.
Wow. Yeah,
we're already back at the house.
So you're out of traffic. You're back where you're staying.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, I think that's beautiful. I hope they do that next Friday when I go to Mansfield. I like that. Do you like that earlier start as well?
Yes. Now that I'm like knocking on 40, yes, I would like show start at 7.
I agree. I'm with you there.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. I'm already back in the house. We're about to have a little post night 1 turn up here. We're still feeling pretty fresh. Yeah. And you still get food and stuff too, which is great too, because everything's not closed. It's only 11 o'clock on a Friday in a major city, so you still got time to get food and do things. So I like this. And traffic was we parked, and of course we had the premier parking, and we got right out. So it was a really good post show experience getting out. So I'm very impressed with the entire day overall. Posters was a little weird today. They were letting people, if you had multiple tickets, they were letting you buy more than one poster. So people were passing their tickets and buying like 4 or 5 posters. The poster sold out probably like in 5 minutes at the merch stand I was at.
Wow. So they were doing it by the ticket.
Yes.
Interesting. Because I saw you post obviously on your social media. I see you posted up smiling with your 3 posters like I'm gonna make some money off this.
No. One. I got one for myself, one for a buddy, and then the other one. They have the blue variant of the tour poster now. Yeah. The original one from like the first leg of the tour, or the first 8 or so shows, it was the yellow, and now the tour poster variant is blue now. So I just got the variant.
Oh, that's what it was.
Myself, one for my buddy Levi.
All right. So
and then I bought some random lady a hat for getting me an extra poster.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it costs of doing business.
Hey, so yeah, just if you're going to Deer Creek Night 2, keep that in mind. At least I would guess they would do the same thing tomorrow. If you have multiple tickets, and you want to buy for people, make sure you get there early and make sure you
I
have
got
their
there at
tickets.
5:30, and the line was like long, and so I had like this lanyard on, and I was like, "Hey, I'm trying to get to will call," and so I kind of stuck up there and kind of snuck in the line, and then I met this lady, and then she's like, "Yeah, if you buy me a hat, I'll get you a poster." So that's how it worked out.
Nice.
So I had to bangle my way up there, but whatever it takes to get the poster, I'll do.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, no honor amongst thieves.
Allegedly.
But man, I appreciate everything you're doing for the community, going live and like keeping everybody updated on the shows. Man, keep up the good work, man. I'm really proud to see you, man. But I gotta hop off here. I'm gonna go in the house, turn it up for the rest of the night, man.
Yeah.
And enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll be back on tomorrow night for you guys.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy post concert celebration. Peace.
All right, appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. All right. So that was John Dixon. Thank you to him. We're gonna try to get D&B Mamas on as well in a moment to get some of her thoughts. So yeah, I mean, this is why I like getting people on. Overall, the energy overwhelmed what they were playing. It didn't matter. And John's like me, someone that he will, if there's a bad set, he will talk about how it's a bad set. But I think the camaraderie, this wasn't a bad set per se, but he's not a fan of Bayi like me. He's not a fan of cornbread like I am, but it didn't matter. I think that the idea, great to see that the environment superseded what they played. But it still was a good mix. You had a lot of, you have a writer song, you have a new song, you have a best of what's around, a Tripping Billy's first spot. You have a Nancy's Warehouse with the Warehouse stop time intro. And, it's great to do that. And let me see if you got this link. Let me know if you can see the link. The D&B Mamas. And again, I appreciate these people for taking time away, because when you're at a show, you can go to your post party, you can go to sleep, but they're coming on to give us some live, up to date check-ins from the show. But yeah, so it's great to see that people are enjoying the shows. And that's the thing is, I mean, honestly, any show that you're able to see this year, with everything that's pending or potentially could be delayed, it is nice to just be able to get to a show. And I hope that I'm able to get to Mansfield along with some other shows as well. Let me see. Oh, you don't have it, DM. Let me see if I can get it to you. Let's see, this should be. I sent it to your Twitter, D&B Mamas, if you can see. I sent it to Twitter. If you don't see it there, just message me on Twitter and say you don't see it. But it should be there. She's checking now. So we have also the debut of the first full cover, which is all along the Watchtower. Me personally, I'm not a fan of this version of Watchtower. Oh, and there's D&B Mamas, but that's just me. I'm not a fan of this. Like I'd rather them play a D&B song. Rapunzel was apparently cut for Watchtower, and we're gonna bring in D&B Mamas. Hello, Leia. Can you hear us? Uh-oh. Let's see. She may be having some connection issues here. She's going back and forth. Hello, Leia. We may have to call you. We may have to call you because I think your connection, and that's understandable if you're out on the road, if you're at a hotel or at someone's house sometimes. Yeah, it's going. Hello, hello. Yeah, I may need to call you. Let's see if we can try to connect here. Okay, I'm gonna call. So we'll disconnect you here.
Marcus!
Hey, how's it going? Can you guys hear her okay?
Marcus! Can you hear Granny?
Yes, I can hear Granny. How you guys doing?
I'll tell you what, cornbread was awesome. Cornbread was just badass. That's all I can say. Besides Granny, but cornbread was awesome.
So that's your initial interest thing. Not my, that's not one of my favorites, but hey, everyone has different tastes.
Well, I haven't heard that one ever, I don't think. In all the times I've seen them here in the last 5 years, I don't think I've heard cornbread for some reason.
Really? Let me take a look. Cornbread. It's the venue. It's been played 7 times.
It was great.
It was so epic, Marcus, and you were totally there with us. I think the best, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
The best part of the night was seeing David and Rachel from Shut Up, I Love You, and Mile High Dad, and being with Sandra and Jim, and us all being together was like the most epic thing in the world. Amazing. Like I am in tears right now.
That's awesome. And I saw, I'm gonna pull this up on who had it? I think it was mine. Was it?
You. Am I supposed to, are we supposed to be I'm gonna play you. Oh, there we go.
I'm gonna pull up Mile High Dad's Twitter because here's the thing. Here's what's funny. He ran into a friend that I made through actually through John, and her name is Dee, and she had her sign, and then they had their sign, so they decided to take a picture together. And so I know Mile High Dad and is it Angie Whitford?
Oh yeah, I know that name. I did not see or meet her, but yeah, I know that name.
I believe that's her. That's who's with Mile High Dad. I don't know if they're married. I don't know. They could probably tell you if they're married or if they're.
Oh, really? Well, I met her and she's amazing. And it was so incredible, like immediate love with everybody. Like completely, like seeing people you haven't seen in like 100 years. But you know them and it's like a reunion. You know, it was really cool. Mile High Dad was all like, it's been so long. And we were like, wait, we haven't met. And we were laughing because it feels like we'd all met. You know, it feels like we knew each other. And we do on Twitter, but to see faces and to squeeze cheeks and to hug and just be with each other. And I'm at a loss of words. And Granny, Jim, and I, we had an amazing time, and we're all slumber partying it and having so much fun getting to know each other and the real us, you know, it's so raw and real. And that's just what we get from DMB family. You know, everybody's just really raw and real, and it more and more just feels like it's turning into this big, you know, family of love. The Summer of Love is certainly a real thing. Yes, and right at the end, yes, they did. Right at the end, somebody had their Summer of Love sign and held it up, but they had it on the big screen. It was very cool.
Awesome. And I don't know if you can see the stream. Can you guys see the picture on the stream?
When I play it, it starts repeating.
Oh, that's okay. So this is just to give you so we have Rachel and Dave. I met Dave last month for the first time in Boston. So they'll be at the Gorge, and then there's Mile High Dad, and I apologize. I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his wife.
They're a couple. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
But they're next to Dave and Rachel, and then in the front is Dee or Deanna. She is a friend that's in a group chat of people that I'm going to be meeting at the Gorge for the first time. But essentially, they all had their love signs, and they decided to take a picture together. Oh. So I messaged Dia like, "Hey, you know Dave and Rachel?" And then I messaged on the post. I was like, "Hey, my dad, you know D, but I guess they hadn't all met." And then I texted Dave, and he's like, I was like, "You know D?" And he is like, "No, we just all had the signs, and we decided to say hi."
Oh wow, and that's so cool. I have two signs with me also, and tomorrow we're going to be much more, on not like we weren't on our game tonight, but we're gonna have our gallon of water, which we can bring in sealed and cold, and our love signs. And my battery will be charged because my phone died halfway through, and my portable charger was also not fired up. So tomorrow will be a little bit more raring to go, ready for our more deep tracks. Interesting to hear, though, Write a Song was one of the 7 songs they played in 2019, which was super great to hear. Yeah, and we all need to re-listen to that song because when it came on, we were all like, whoa, my gosh, what is this? What is this? And so, when a new song comes on at first, you're like, is that a cover? Do they play this? What is this? Right. Something I don't know. And so it'll be nice to revisit that song and to, take it in because it was just so explosive to hear a new song that we never even had a tease of.
Right. And that's one of the few songs I heard at the Gorge in 2019 for the first time. That's one of the songs that even if you listen to this band every day, mm-hmm. it's not really on a lot of recordings that you can buy. Mm-hmm. So that's one song that, you hear it and you're like, wait a minute, what is it? Oh, it's that song. Or you may not know, you have to look it up, which is interesting because if you're a fan of this band, you pretty much know everything. But that's mm-hmm. one of those songs that kind of sneaks around and comes back. Mm-hmm. Just happens to be one of the few songs I know it was played at the Gorge. It was played in Ridgefield, Washington. It was played at Deer Creek. This is all 2019. And I believe it's been played a couple times in Colorado at Fiddler's. Mm-hmm. So it's unique. Now, what'd you think of the new song?
Again, we all loved it. It was like, I don't want to say confusing, but I didn't know, was this a cover? Was this something, at first I wasn't sure if it was new for a moment. And then, so I didn't really get to take it in. That first time is always just kind of like, just like a bolt of lightning.
Yeah, nobody knew what it was.
Yeah, we were all,
the whole crowd was.
It was very exciting to hear a new song, fresh, a brand new, fresh song. That was very cool.
It's very unique, and I'm glad you guys got to experience it. I was looking up the only thing on Google just mm-hmm. to see if it was a cover. And there were a couple of songs, but the lyrics weren't matching up to any of them. So okay, this has to be a Dave original. Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't a cover, but it was a question that I also had when it first started playing. I'm thinking, who is this? After we got, kind of smacked on the side of the head with I Want a New Drug, kind of never know what you're going to get. Right.
Randy is not happy with that song and is making a very strong request to Fake Dave that not to punish us with that tomorrow.
Oh, so she doesn't like the cover, the interpol. It's really like a partial cover.
The I Want a New Drug?
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't care, she said.
I feel the same way.
What happened was then there were these people in the parking lot playing Huey Lewis and Power of Love and all that. It's like, no, do not turn that into that. Do not turn this into that.
Yeah, I'm not vehemently opposed to it, but I think that I don't need it. It's not something I go to a Dave show for that cover, or even same thing with Watchtower. It's I know the crowd, I'm sure the crowd was pumped for it, but I want to see Dave play Dave. He's not like there's certain artists, they're not, there may be an opener and you don't know any of their music. So they play. Why? I mean, that's what Dave Matthews did with, with the Grateful Dead. He opens up for the Grateful Dead. He goes to Woodstock 99. And I understand that you play Watchtower because the fans are like, oh, he can play that. I respect him for playing a classic, and he did it well. But now that this, Dave is the band's cemented in history. So it's like, I want to hear your music. And that's why I'm glad that all the songs but Watchtower tonight were Dave Matthews songs.
Yes. I do, though, have to say I love when they do the little Stairway to Heaven tease. And, it was funny. Tim came out with this. I don't know if you're familiar with his if it's new, the white guitar. Do you know that guitar?
It's white?
It's white. And so he busted out into the solo, into that. Well, before that, we saw the guitar and we're like, that's the Wayne's World guitar, and then
ask Marcus which song is played by the Wayne's World with the guys.
Okay, so Brandy and I, while he was playing Watchtower, having a little debate that when they start ripping into the guitar solo in the guitar shop in Wayne's World, isn't it Stairway to Heaven?
And then they play
Bohemian Rhapsody in the car when they're driving.
I think it is Stairway. I remember.
Yes, in the guitar. Yes.
See, when I saw Wayne's World, I was actually kind of. This is from.
I know you weren't smoking weed.
No. This is in college.
You drank some wine.
No, this was in college, and this was in college, and I'm watching Wayne's World. But to give you a backstory, when I was watching Wayne's World, there was a girl that at the time we were just friends, but we watched Wayne's World and all of a sudden it kind of, nothing crazy, nothing crazy. I'm just saying, but it was like, we kind of got that, oh, hey, we're sitting next to each other. And so I remember Wayne's World. Like I remember watching the movie.
What scene was it that you guys had
hey,
going on?
This is a family show. No, but I remember they were in the, like, I honestly, what I remember is that I associate that with the time where it's like, okay, hey, I got my show, and listen, things don't work out, all that stuff. But at the time, it just, I remember they were in the guitar shop. I remember I really don't remember much of the movie itself because it was just a moment where we were all hanging out at someone's house. I was like, oh, hey,
Gotta revisit Wayne's World.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it again.
Oh God, yes. And seeing Tim pull out that guitar, he was totally Garth. I mean, no, he wasn't totally Garth.
I think it's an Ibanez.
It was very reminiscent of that. It was sweet. And so when they broke into that Stairway to Heaven, that was pretty cool. And it was ripping. You heard it. Were you listening in serious?
Yes, I was listening. And John also, who called in earlier, he messaged me during the show and he said, the crowd was feeling it. Richard Fauslaire, thank you for being on and thank you for watching. Now, I think, what is it? Damian Alexander says Watchtower is Stairway to Heaven at the end every time. It's not a reprise. So yeah, I mean, I agree. I consider just watch, like the way they put it on the almanac and on the set list pages is that it's Watchtower, Stairway to Heaven, and then Watchtower reprise, which really Watchtower with a Stairway to Heaven, really interpolation to me. It's a part of it, and then it goes back. But the thing is, I will never knock that it does not get the crowd riled up. Me personally, I don't like, I don't, especially when it closes a show. I'm not as much of a fan of it because it's so predictable. And it's not like, it's like 41, they jam, right? There's other songs where they jam. Even Jimmy Thing, which, it's Jimmy Thing, they jam. But Watchtower, it's so on key. You're not going to get anything wild unless there's a guest. There was I don't know if you heard the organ. It sounded like they gave Buddy a little bit of an organ solo. Maybe that's been going on. I just don't remember from 19, but it sounded like, did it sound like he had a little bit of a moment there?
At the end, during Watchtower?
Right before Tim starts to get his part, it sounded like they gave a little organ part to Buddy before Tim does his little solo, and before Stairway to Heaven thing. It sounded like Buddy had like about 15 seconds to kind of play the organ.
They all had little solos at the end, notably, and I'm not sure if it was in that moment. Do you guys remember if Buddy had a little organ solo?
Yes, he did.
Granny's confirming yes.
It was great too.
And she says it was
I don't have to set
amazing.
Now, what'd you guys think of the stop time intro to Warehouse? That hasn't been played in a while.
Yes. I actually just learned what that was. I didn't know what that stop time meant, and Jim explained it to me. So I felt very liberated around that. It was extremely exciting.
That's awesome.
Screaming, and of course, we had our little seat posse, all the people around us, and as usual, it was just so great.
What are the odds?
We just got the same parking spot. We're back at the hotel.
Oh, see, you guys. I'm glad you guys made it back safe. And if you could, go ahead. Oh no, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was thinking there was something I wanted to talk about with you. You talk. I'll think of it. I'm sorry.
No worries. We did.
Like we're just talking on the phone, and I can be just myself. Thank you for letting me be myself, Marcus.
Again.
Again and again.
But so the other thing was I wrote down some of the lyrics of the new song. It said the chorus was, "I just want love, some kind of love. I just want love, more love. I know I need it. It's the only thing." I thought it was interesting to get that. He had a verse about, remember when all the things used to be real? And like I thought it was pretty interesting the way that some of the songwriting, like you said, definitely a unique song, but it was pretty interesting to see, to hear it, and it seems like it's not your cookie cutter come tomorrow song. It seemed like he was trying to kind of be very introspective, and I don't know, I like the vibes of the new song. And
me too. I'm so excited to hear it. I'm hoping we can find it like as soon as we go back to the room.
Yeah, I'm sure that I know.
I would love to revisit that conversation because I didn't really take in the lyrics, so it's nice hearing them from you right now.
Right.
The only thing, yeah,
it was great. I liked it.
It was. I'm ready to listen to it like 10 times. That's what I love about new DMB music, that you can just like completely get saturated in it over and over. I love that. Like when the Charlottesville 25 year anniversary, you had Bismarck and Samurai Cop and Virginia in the Rain. I mean, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I think, so Charlottesville, those two songs were 16. Virginia in the Rain and Death on the High Seas was 15.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, that time.
Okay. So that was a year before Samurai Cop, Bismarck, and She. Those were the 3 songs, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Because I remember, the reason I know is I was at the first Virginia in the Rain in Hartford in the first Death on the High Seas.
Wow.
And then in 16, they brought, let me see if I can look that up here. 16, that Charlottesville show at JPJ, that was 5-7.
Wow, it's amazing how fast the years go by and how these songs are like now 5 years old.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They had.
I'd love to revisit some of that. I mean, I must say, as I'm sometimes I sound, I'm starting to sound a little bit like you, Marcus, because I have heard a lot of, after being Tampa, West Palm Beach, and, to hear so many of the similar songs when, we know that there's this massive repertoire of, songs that, are on people's bucket lists, deep tracks, tiny little slow songs. I'd love to hear my Here On Out. That's what I was trying to think of before when we got that night one Chicago tease at the end with that set list, and it was like, where's my Here On Out?
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like hoping that he'll play it.
Yeah, so Samurai Cop and Bismarck were 16.
Okay.
Death on High Seas and Virginia in the Rain were 15. But this is reminiscent of that time because you don't have an album out, so they're road testing some of the songs. And in looking back, those songs were the best songs. Virginia in the Rain, Black and Bluebird, Bismarck. Now, Samurai Cop is, I think, emotionally connects to me, but I don't really need to hear it 50 times. But the Bismarck, Death on the High Seas, Virginia in the Rain, and Black and Bluebird, those were the best songs.
Yes.
And then in 18 and 19, they started playing more songs. Here On Out is great. My friends, I married my friends, and they played that their dance. But like the She's and Do You Remembers aren't as good. So I really want to enjoy the songs we get now, because for all we know, next year they could have a bunch of dud songs, or just not dud songs, but songs that aren't as good, right? Because we thought, looking back, I thought, Bismarck, well, we're always going to have this around. Death on the High Seas, we're going to have this around, and they disappeared. So I'm trying to, I definitely, when I go next Friday to my first show, I want to just soak in these newer songs, because they could release an album, and just like Black and Bluebird, it could go missing. So it's important. I think, like you said, at the same time, you're at a Deer Creek night one, or you're at a Gorge night one, and it's overwhelming. There's so many songs you want to hear. And I think that the challenges with the more material they have, the harder it is to get everything. You're still going to have a great time. I have no doubt I'm going to enjoy the Gorge, Mansfield, all this stuff. But there's just not enough. Unless they play 7 hours, there's going to be some songs even at a Deer Creek or a Gorge or a Saratoga Springs that just aren't played because they got so many songs now. So,
which is a reason why I'd love to hear some of them.
Yeah. And well, I guess we'll
Virginia in the Rain one time, just a Black and Bluebird.
Yeah.
Just throw out one. We all know those deep tracks, or those love song ballads, or those really deep introductive songs. I'd love to see a few more of those thrown out. I feel like that would be my only critiquing commentary, at least in the moment. I would just love to just have a splash more, because Write a Song was so exciting.
Right.
And then, definitely as amazing as it is, and in the moment, as much as we're all grooving and we're all hanging out and we're all just loving on each other, it would be like off the hook to get one of those.
Oh, definitely. And I think that's the thing is, like you said, especially Virginia in the Rain and Black and Bluebird, like those are recent songs that were gems. And we'll see. I mean, we have the Gorge, you have Night 2 tomorrow. I mean, they played 5 Under the Table and Dreaming, so they kind of got most of that out the way. They had 3
out of their system.
Right. They have 3 Crash. They had no. So interesting. There was no Before These Crowded Streets tonight. And apparently Rapunzel was crossed off, and they played Watchtower instead. So it was supposed
Jim called that. Jim called Rapunzel. He was calling, let's see, at the end, he thought we were going to go to Gray Street tonight. Now he's figuring, now it's a little confusing. He's thinking we're going to end with a Too Much tomorrow night. But he had the YAM. Our card's not working. We're on the 20th floor of Hyatt Regency, and our cards keep deactivating.
Did you have them by your cell phone? That's typically what does it. If you have the card close to a cellular device, sometimes it deactivates.
Yeah, that's right. I knew it was near, when it's near something. It's the cell phone. Okay.
Yeah.
Granny says she's old, but I dispute that. We finally have arrived in our room, so it will be a little bit more grounded here.
That's good. Glad. So you got in.
Yep, we are home safely, having our night 2 of our slumber party.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes, 40-minute drive from the venue to downtown Indianapolis at the Hyatt, which, by the way, I would highly recommend. This is an amazing hotel. The staff is so hospitable and wonderful and gracious and wanting everyone to feel at home. Just want to put a shout out to the Hyatt Regency. Just everybody is just over and beyond. They all wear pins that talk about their 10s in customer service. So considering next year Deer Creek, just putting that out there. In fact, it'd be a fun place to all come to and get rooms at and hang out.
That's good to hear, and especially in these times with a lot of people that, a lot of hotels are rehiring, and there's a lot of times you don't get good service. That's awesome to hear that you feel like you have a home, a temporary home for this weekend to make memories. It's definitely something you can never take for granted. On my 4th of July stream, I mentioned that as we have to appreciate these workers who treat us well. And even those who may not, they may be having a rough day. There's a lot of anxiety with things that are going on with the virus, with just the work, inflation. Some of these people are trying to make money for their kids. And this job they have, room service, whatever it is, security, they could lose if something gets shut down. That's their paycheck. So I think we need to continue to show that, as I know you guys are doing, show the appreciation, the gratitude to those workers in the service industry, because they are a couple of statistics, a couple of hospitalizations from things being shut down. And I hope it doesn't come to that, but there's a lot going on right now. So so it sounds like from listening to you, from listening to John, the environment tonight, from what I'm hearing, they're saying it sounds like it was better than Raleigh, because this is the first big destination weekend. What was the tailgate like? Did you guys come early?
Great, actually, good question. We connected with Kurt from DMB Tattoo. Actually, Jim has been emailing him since like 2016, and longer than that. I think it's been 10 years. He was saying something, maybe 10 years. They just met for the first time, and what a great guy. I don't know. I wasn't familiar with the handle, but it's where people all send, and he chronicles people's tattoos, like sort of like a DMV almanac. I mean, different content. I haven't seen it, so this is how Jim had described it to me, but he has
I'm gonna pull it up.
Following, and really great guy. It was a great tailgate there. We were kind of moseying around, mostly stayed there. I reconnected with my West Palm Beach pit crew. And in fact, this guy, Marty, these 3 guys that were in the pit in West Palm, they were here. And Andy Mendoza, I don't know if you're familiar with that name. He's been uploading full shows. He did the Chicago nights 1 and 2, I think, on YouTube. He's friends with them. And so I got to meet him through them, and just so cool. I mean, it's just like the circle keeps getting bigger and bigger, yet at the same time, it just keeps getting tighter and tighter. It's pretty amazing. Exchanging numbers with everybody, just staying in touch. It's a great thing. And we have our Twitter family. That's really exciting. But the love signs, I'm really liking this idea of us all bringing them tomorrow. Maybe we can do a photo shoot with your love sign. I'd love to meet your friend John tomorrow too. In fact, it'd be great to just get a big group of us tomorrow night. It feels very, reunion-like. So even to see, what other of our DMB fam might be there. You were great at even helping us to know that Mile High Dad was there. Then I knew to look for him. And then, of course, seeing Rachel and David, which was amazing. I swear, Marcus, I mean, and I'm sure meeting you is going to be the same way. I'm sure I'm going to be like flooded with emotion, and I'm probably going to cry, which is exactly how I felt when I met David and Rachel. I mean, like, I looked into Rachel's eyes and I felt like I knew her forever. And David, they look like twins. They're so cute. They're so wonderful. It's great to meet people through Twitter and doing these streams and interviews, but to meet somebody in the flesh and Granny got everybody guitar picks.
Nice.
It was just, and still continues to be just wildly amazing. I went to this workout, this fitness studio called F45, and the girl here was going to the show. I mean, like, everybody was going to the show. You know, it's like the meeting people left and right who love DMB and totally get the vibe, and that vibe is just like permeates in the whole group. And yes, and the hospitality. Who's your hospitality? Granny says. I mean, you get that in fan base too. Everybody's looking out for each other.
Yeah.
It's just such a great thing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. I would love to, as you know, hear more. So those deep tracks and some of those small ballads, that would be great.
Yeah, Michael Ledbetter said on the chat he wants to hear the riff. Hoping to play the riff more and Drunken Soldier, which are to me two of the best. The holy trinity of Away from the World to me is Drunken Soldier, Broken Things, and the riff. Those are just three beautiful, deep, dark, and inspiring tracks. And I'm on DMB Tattoo's page. I see his and this is where I've seen people tag him in this, but he has all his flags. And it looks like he was with the antsmarching.org people, because they have the ants flag.
Granny says yes.
Okay. Because I've seen people retweet his stuff before. And then he also has the set list. So they started off with Tripping Billies, right? You guys got that. The set list does not have Tripping Billies. It has, oh no, it does. Sorry, I had to zoom in. So the only thing so they have Tripping Billies, Grace, Nancy's Warehouse Suite, Only Thing. Yeah, so Only Thing is on the set list. That's how it's written out. 41, Best of What's Around, Do You Remember? So Damn Lucky, Shake Me, Write a Song by You, Monkey, Satellite, Die Trying, Cornbread, Ants. So the only change is Granny was supposed to go into Rapunzel, but they decided to do Watchtower. So that Watchtower was impromptu, on the fly. The picture we're looking at on the stream shows Granny to Rapunzel, and just that's what Dave does at a Deer Creek at a SPAC. He'll say, he does it every, he'll do it every weekend, but just to change it from one to another in that dramatic fashion. Even though I don't like, again, I'd prefer not to hear it. It's a song that people do like. I can't deny that the crowd loves Watchtower, even though I could go without it. And I always respect that. There's songs I don't like, but the crowd likes it. Like, same thing with Bayou. Bayou gets a huge reaction. I don't need the verses. The verses are just like, it's one of those TV series that just has 5 seasons and it's a waste. I like the jam at the end, but hey, Bayou gets people going. It's got that, summertime feel, getting everyone riled up. But we'll see what you guys get tomorrow, and hopefully you're able to meet more people. I think, I've never been to Indiana, but going to Kansas City, there's a Midwest charm. And I think that's why Deer Creek has a different vibe, because SPAC is New York, upstate New York. It's a great environment, but it's still an East Coast show. It has more of a frat boy feel, like Hartford does. But the thing is, with the Midwest, there's a different feeling being there in Kansas City for some time. And, even just other people who are from the Midwest are just so kind. I guess Indiana is on the, some people may not call it the Midwest. Some people, I don't know if it's the Hoosier state though, as Granny said. and there's that charm of just the heartland. It's the heartland. That's the best way to describe it.
It is. It really is, and it's beautiful downtown here.
Yeah. Michael says the band made Watchtower in their own way. Nobody reimagined the song like they did. I agree with that in the sense of the like when Leroy Moore was alive and it was more acoustic based. I agree on that. The one that's played now, while it's energetic, is not much of a. It's not as original as how it was played before Tim was here full time. I love the way it was played, like Woodstock '99, and I even pulled up. I had if you guys can, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but I know the people listening. I pulled up a Watchtower from Dead and Company, and let me see if I can play this. This is John Mayer. Kind of similar to how Dave does it, but I just like how the tone. I like how it's a little more mellow. I just like John Mayer's tone over Tim. I mean, these are very similar, but I'm just trying to listen. This is more like the Hendrix for Jimi Hendrix.
Same.
I think the big difference is, I'm going to stop it. I think, you know what it is though? The other thing is, when you listen to this Dead and Company version, I think when you're at a concert, you're drinking, you're smoking, you're doing whatever, and you hear the Dave version, it's a wall of sound that pushes you. And I think it's the horns and the horn section adds a layer that to me is just too in your face, where I'm about the groove. I'm about the groove, like the Dead and Company version. John's playing pretty fast like Tim does, but you can hear the guitar, you can hear the organ, you can hear the bass as individual parts that makes this jam. Where Dave, and actually this may be more of Dave's guitar. It's just you have Dave's guitar strumming, you have Tim playing. It's too overwhelming of just all this sound pushed at you, where the Jimi Hendrix version, you hear Jimmy's guitar and then you hear everything behind it. And it's like, okay, this is the guitar, this is the bass, this is the drums. I just think that's what frustrates me about Watchtower. It's just a wall of sound. And that's what this band does best. I mean, this band it brings energy. Everything they do brings energy. And even when they're jamming low key, it fills your heart. But I think that my thing with Watchtower, it's just too much noise that doesn't have direction. It's just all.
The young guy turns it up too.
Yeah, Granny. In fact, in the middle of it, she was like, "Yeah, it just got turned up." They turned it up in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Oh, the sound.
Yeah,
it went up on 3 decibels.
Gotcha. And I'm a rock. Like I listen to all sorts of metal. I was listening to I was running up a hill today, and I do my hill training, and I'm listening to all sorts of harder rock, running up hills, hip hop, all this stuff that's just more harder hitting. But I like with DMB, I like when you can hear every individual thing, even when but it's just like the wall of sound. Not for me, but hey, like I said, I can't deny when people at the show, when you're at a show it gets action. So, all
Yeah,
right.
people were just like it reminds me of Haley when I think they could play you know the ABC, and people would be flipping out. It was
Right.
just people were so excited to have them back.
Mm-hmm.
And there's such an incredible vibe. I mean, there's been an incredible vibe throughout this whole entire tour. I mean, Florida, all of Florida, which you don't necessarily expect in Florida. It can be hit or miss with the crowd. But it's just been really just such a great camaraderie. I do have to say, though, that the exit of Deer Creek, it was like a corral of cows, and it was pretty scary. I mean, it was like good thing, one person would fall, and that would have been not pretty.
Wait, the walking or the
walking
driving
out? Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes, it was like to hurt. Yeah, it really was. I mean, there's like that sketchy tunnel where you're like, okay, everybody, forget social distancing. I mean, like it was a pack of sardines there. And, but then once we got out, and then, half the people lost their cars. It was very, the organization, Jim was noticing at all shows, but, certain ones in particular, it's like the same things happen all the time. The lines, warehouse line, trying to get in first to get the posters before they sell out, before they let in the general admission, general, audience. It'd be nice to see some of that tighten up, especially with all this going on now. Think that that all needs to really, there needs to be more order around that, because people are close, just all packed in, the lines. I mean, I just think that, and then the confusion of which lines were which, that would be the only other kind of thing that we really noticed about, the coming in and the going of the audience, and then the parking situation. I mean, half the crowd couldn't find their cars. People were screaming after the show. It was very disorganized parking to begin with. They were parking people on like the roads in between the aisles. Cars were parked far apart from each other. It was just, I have to say that was a little bit, disorganized. But in the end, we made it out, and I think everybody else did. Granny was saying how when she goes there in years past, people will be there 2.5 hours later looking for their cars. Seeing people panicking about their cars, and people going in sober and leaving wasted, and then like can't find their way. And it is like that, you go in there and there's so much energy. And I went in there planning not to have at all a sip of alcohol. I was feeling very much like I wanted to drink water, and just, I worked out today. I wanted to just stay hydrated. And then it was so hot, and I saw one of those strawberry daiquiris and I got a $25 strawberry daiquiri, and thought of Bridget Hale, because we never got to have our prices kept going up every time we talked about them. They turned into $60 margaritas with a $20 floater. But it was delicious, and the food was really good there. We had a lot of options. That was nice. It felt like we were at like a county fair in a way. It's a really fun venue, and every venue must have a different energy. I'm not as seasoned as so many people are with going and touring. This is my biggest tour season. But it's interesting to see, the different vibe at the shows, but then the similar vibe of the TMB fan base. There is that common thread of, just that peace and love, and that niche of that common bond, which is an interestingly strong niche to be a part of. It's so amazing. It's like one of those things that I think all of these shows, in fact, I have all these videos that failed to send from West Palm Beach, and it took like days to even process, to watch the videos, because there was so much energy, and it was so like you have to come down from the shows. And tonight felt like that too, particularly because we're all together, and we're going to be together tomorrow night too. It's just it's just been hard to describe meeting up with your friends for the very first time that you've known.
Oh yeah, and I met Dave for the first time in Boston. It was just a cool, it's a surreal experience. We weren't even at a show; he was in town for business, but it's cool, and I really look forward to meeting you. And next year, I'm gonna see Granny. I'm gonna have to go down to Deer Creek and some other people that I'm meeting, like John. I haven't met him in real life yet. D. I'm looking forward to meeting everyone in real life for some of these shows coming up, and it looks like some of the parking here is kind of like, looks like it's like grass and there's like paved, so it looks like it. I can see how people could miss their cars. Now, traffic out, was that hard getting out of the?
Yeah, it was not pretty.
Okay.
Definitely, cars. People were getting all impatient and honking, and I mean, it was definitely a scene getting out of there. But it always seems to be. I mean, Tampa and West Palm weren't too different in a sense, but I can't imagine it's also easy to park cars in like these massive fields that are not so easy to, find your section and car after. It's so easy to think you're on one side when you're on the other, and which side of the venue you go in. And that's something to really keep in mind. I mean, for me tonight, like I took a photo of where we were parked, but then my phone died. Luckily, between the three of us, we kind of remembered where we were, but that's.
So
Granny's now revisiting our photos, and we've got some really great, just so much good stuff.
One thing I will say is, if you put a pin, if you have, like I have an iPhone, if you put a pin down where your car is parked, you can use it now. Sometimes your GPS can get confused because there's so many people trying to use their phone after the show. But I put a pin down, especially like for the gorge. Is I put a pin down, and then you kind of walk towards that pin. I did it in Guilford, New Hampshire as well a couple weeks ago. And then I try not to use I make sure that when my phone gets down to a certain percentage, I just shut it off or I don't use it. But if you have one person that has that has their phone at the highest power, if you have them set a pin and you can walk right to your pin or just get it'll give you an idea. And then you hit your key and then it goes off and you know where it is. But that's one thing I would say, anyone listening, is to put a pin down where you're parked, because when the sun goes down, it's a whole different thing.
Yes. I'm going to do that. I've never done that before.
Yeah. So you can
put the pin down. That's a great idea.
Yep. But
there's lots of little things that we're learning, just getting around, and these little tricks of the trade from the pros.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, can you guys come on tomorrow? I don't know. We're going to have John back on, but.
Yeah. And if you speak with John beforehand, maybe we can coordinate a meetup. That would be cool. I'd love to meet John.
Yeah, I'll see what he's doing, because he has a lot of people he's seeing, but I'll see if he wants to meet up with you guys. I'll see it and I'll message you and all that. But yeah, it's definitely nice to meet new people and meet people that you've been talking to or you've seen online, and to do it at a show. It's definitely special. And that's what the community is about. By the time you get to 15, 20 shows, I'm at,
Excuse that car.
I know. Once you get to 15, 20 shows, it's more about the community. You can't,
really
there's no
true.
reason you're going to 40.
That's exactly that. And it's reminding me that I'm wanting to really shout out to our DMV family who sticks around and watches our feed during shows and interacts and gets engaged, and it's just so wonderful. So much love our family, love our friends. We have such a great little tight-knit community, and it's fun to, just see everybody's response, and, the little part of them are there with us. And that is a really cool feeling, to really get that sense of, being all together, even when we're not all together and we're not all at the shows, that we can bring that to each other and we can experience it together still. It's just a wonderful thing. Haley not being able to make it out for the Gorge, seeing her there, and they've been playing, the song that Jane likes a bunch, and it's just been amazing versions. I feel like they're all for her. It's just such a personal touch, people getting their songs, Granny getting Granny here every year, it's just, it's so cool. There's so much magic and synchronicity and, constantly. I mean, my whole trip here has been like, flights that land at 11:11 and I'm in seat 7D and, just running into everybody that we're running into that are going to shows and, just everybody being cool. I mean, it's just, it feels like it's a whole, it's an extension of the show. It's like, it really is. There's this just intriguing magic that comes from the band and, with the timing of songs and, I'm sure you experience it too. We all see our number 41s everywhere. And, there's just something to that once you really get into that whirlwind of all that good juju, it just keeps amplifying and building on itself. And then it's like the more people you meet and it just all keeps growing. There's definitely, for me, it's a really spiritual experience. And I'm just so grateful that we have this. I mean, I feel very blessed to have the music and then the community. I mean, it's just so rich and full with love and community. We just get so much from it all. I mean, beyond the music and the meaningful experiences that we have in life with the music and then, meeting the people, it's just, we're so blessed, and I'm just so grateful to the band to provide that, be messengers of such, I want to say divinity. I mean, there's just so much sacredness in the music and so much sacredness in the connections with the fan base and the people. It's just, I just feel that we are very fortunate to have each other and to have this music and the band and the whole thing, all of it is wonderful. And like you said, after 15 shows, seeing people and connecting with people, that becomes the greatest thing.
Yep.
And it definitely has been that, no exception to that this weekend. It's been just so far so amazing.
Absolutely. And on that note, we're going to turn off the stream. I'll let you guys get to just enjoying your time together. Like I said, I know this is a special time and, you guys, you're meeting each other for the first time. And Michael, thank you. He says, thank you both for doing this stream. And thank you.
Thanks for being there. Thanks to your audience too. Thank you for doing what you do. You provide such a wonderful service to the community, and we're all so grateful for what you do, Marcus. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, thank you guys. I love doing this.
It's like I find more and more we're all like, ask Marcus. We need to ask Marcus. Call Marcus. So you've always had that, and we all really appreciate it. And and we all really appreciate your. I don't want to say like slightly controversial, but just the way you call things out. I think it's great. I think it's constructive. I'm sure the band appreciates it. And we all do, and love your live stream. Just thank you so much. We're just very grateful that you're here, and we look forward to meet you soon.
Yeah. I'll see you at the Gorge, and like I said, I'll see Granny next year. Everything willing, Lord willing, we'll be able to have shows next year and have a Deer Creek. I'll be out there, but I do this for the people. I don't. At this time, I don't make anything off this. I just love talking DMB. I like you said, I'll speak my mind. I try to balance it out, but I'll say what I feel, because I felt like there's many different things that you get from this community. But one of the things I wanted to try to challenge myself and challenge others in the band in certain ways when we see certain things. But anyway, thank you so much. We'll try to connect tomorrow, but you guys have a wonderful night. and rest up for today because it's 12:15 Eastern, so it's already tomorrow.
Yes, it's already tomorrow. We'll get our good night's sleep, and then we'll revisit this conversation again tomorrow.
All right, you have a good rest of your night. You take care, guys.
Thanks, Marcus. You have a great night, and we'll talk tomorrow. We love you, and thank you again.
All right, take care. Love you guys too.
Bye.
All right, bye. All right, so that was DMB Mamas, aka Leia, and then she was with I believe Chef Jim and Granny, aka Sam Jones. Great people, great fans, and great people that I've interacted with on Twitter, and hopefully be able to see Granny next year, seeing Leia at the Gorge and then Mohegan. So I'm excited for that. But we'll be on tomorrow. Stay tuned. It'll probably be around 10:45 again. It just depends if they start later, a 15-minute swing. But Twitter, ConcertViz34, follow me there and you'll get the live stream link from there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and then you can be alerted if there are any new if I go live. If you hit the notification bell, it'll let you know that I'm going live on your phone, or you can get an email. But you guys have a wonderful night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's your boy ConcertViz34. Peace.